Hello everybody, thank you for tuning in to the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. My name is Samantha Genzer and I'm going to be your show host for today. We have a very exciting episode for you guys. We're going to be covering the narrative the media pushes for the Clark and Reese rivalry, U.S. Women's Olympic Trials Day 3 and Day 4, and we'll talk about returning to the Olympics and the AUX Series recap, the women's volleyball national teams that qualify for the Olympics, and make sure you guys stay till the end to hear about the student athletes competing in the U.S. Track and Field Olympic Trials. Before we begin, I wanted to ask you guys to like and follow the show and to become a part of our show to tip and donate using the link gsmcpodcast.net. Also, we do get a lot of questions and comments that come from viewers during the show, so to ensure that your questions get read on the air, I ask that you use the link gsmcpodcast.net. This puts your questions at the top of the list so that I see them, and of course, it also really helps the show. Again, the link is gsmcpodcast.net. Now, let's get started. I hope you guys enjoy today's content. Okay, so we're going to be starting today's show by talking about the rivalry between Clark and Angel Reese and how it has escalated recently, some updates in my opinions. The divide between Clark and Angel Reese has reached pretty much a ridiculous level. The media is the biggest perpetrators of this divide, and it seems like there's a new story with this every week. Last Sunday, the Indiana Fever beat the Chicago Sky 91-83. The game was a sellout at the Gainbridge Fieldhouse with 17,274 fans at the game, according to the WNBA's website. This is the second time Clark and Reese went head-to-head in the WNBA season so far, and just like last time, there was some fouling drama. In the last game on June 1st between the Sky and Fever, the Fever came out on top by 1 point, and Kennedy Carter absolutely elbowed Clark. It was not a basketball play, according to Clark, her coach, Christy Stides, and myself. It wasn't. It was completely aggressive, and it should have been a flagrant foul. And then Reese stood up and applauded for Carter for the foul, and it ended up not being upgraded to a flagrant foul after being reviewed, which I thought was ridiculous. But here's the foul that caused some controversy in the game Sunday. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. So in the third quarter of the game, Reese struck Clark in the head as she tried to block Clark's layup with her arm, resulting in the foul. And then after video review, officials upgraded Reese's foul to a flagrant 1, which means there was unnecessary contact against another player. In post-game interviews, Reese disagreed that the block had been anything other than a basketball play, and she said, going back and looking at the film, I've seen a lot of calls that weren't made. I guess some people got a special whistle. I can't control the refs. They affected the game a lot tonight, but y'all going to play that clip 20 times before Monday. Clark, for her part, seemed to agree with Reese, calling the block, quote, just another part of basketball, and telling interviews that Reese was, quote, just trying to make a play on the ball and get the block. Reese and Clark have long denied rumors that there's a personal beef between them, but their much-hyped on-course rivalry has drawn in fans since they were in college, facing off at the 2023 NCAA Women's Finals. The rivalry has often highlighted the double standards between black women face in sport. It's including racist and misogynistic commentary from sports officials and Twitter or ex-mobs alike. Earlier this month, Clark called it disappointing that online commenters were using her name to spew bigoted race criticism at fellow WNBA players. After Sunday's game, Clark chalked up the outsized attention on her and Reese's matchup to the emotion and passion they both play with, and that is a quote from her. And Clark said, and I'm quoting here also, "We're competitors, and that's the way the game should be. It's going to get a little feisty, it's going to get physical, but at the end of the day, both teams are just trying to win." Now, I watched the clip of the flagrant foul hundreds of times, and in my opinion, this looked like a typical basketball foul, not a flagrant foul. It disappointed me that it was upgraded to a flagrant foul in some way, but here's the thing. I think officials upgraded it to a flagrant foul to calm down super protective Clark fans and fans that love the drama. When Carter fouled Clark and it didn't get upgraded to a flagrant foul, so much controversy and chaos happened, but that one actually did deserve to be a flagrant foul, in my opinion. Unlike Reese's foul on Sunday, Although it is important to note that Reese did hit Clark in the head with the foul on Sunday, so it makes sense that it was upgraded to a flagrant 1 foul. Like, I get that. But considering that Carter's foul wasn't upgraded to a flagrant foul, makes me think that Reese's foul shouldn't be a flagrant foul, if that makes sense. Matt Lennart, former NFL player, commented on the foul on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. I keep calling it Twitter. And said, and I'm quoting, Angel Reese should be suspended, period, not good for the game. A lot of people replied to his comments saying that he is soft and that he shouldn't be making this basketball judgment because people who actually play basketball are saying this is basketball play. And I think he has the right to say what he thinks about this basketball play, but that's not the focus of this segment. I brought up his tweet because I think it's important to know how a lot of famous sports celebrities and influencers commented on this foul, and I disagree with him. I obviously don't think Reese should be suspended for this foul, but the fact that this former NFL commented on it shows that this is a huge news headline in the media right now, if that makes sense. Anyway, the media is pushing this narrative of Clark and Reese, and it has really started to irritate me. People in the media have said that WNBA vets and rookies should be grateful for Clark for what she has brought to the league. And yes, in some ways they should be, because she has brought new fans, but the media also says they should go easy on Clark or really bow down to her, and that is ridiculous. It's weird to me that one person in the league, Caitlin Clark, is getting all of this respect, and she deserves all this respect, don't get me wrong, but so do the other 140 players deserve to be treated. This entire issue is so indicative of misogyny and even misogynoir, and just for background context, misogynoir is basically misogyny specifically against black women. The idea that a largely black female league should express gratitude towards a white player for bringing in largely white fans, and that is just how it is factually, statistically, and demographics, who have had to get on board. It's ridiculous, it's offensive, and it's really indicative of something deeper. Now, you guys know I'm a huge fan of Caitlin Clark, but I also am a huge fan of other WNBA players, rookies, and veterans. And I want Clark to succeed, obviously, but I also want a lot of the other players in the league to succeed, like Angel Reese. Here's the thing, talent cannot translate into superstardom without marketing. Clark could have had 1,000 points in one game in Iowa, but no one would know about it if there weren't platforms that marketed it and showed it to people. So the fact that the media is acting like people owe gratitude to Caitlin Clark for finally putting this spotlight on the WNBA, it is pretty ridiculous and insane. This is a basic fact. A league cannot depend on one person for its success. So that kind of leads to the other rivalry with Angel Reese and Clark, with how Reese feels she deserves more credit and has made that very clear in interviews and in her posts on the media and such. I firmly believe Reese does deserve more credit for the increased popularity in the media. I've talked about this in videos before. There are so many people that deserve credit for the increased viewership, and Reese is indeed one of them. But because Reese has spoken about Clark in interviews and because they've had a rivalry in the past, people take everything she says and basically twist her words or assume something, or I don't know, make it something out of it when it isn't that serious, like just make it into another story basically. For instance, every single time Reese has posted something about the league that seems ever so slightly about Clark, people have escalated the situation. And to be honest, I have fallen victim to what the media tries to tell us, because when you have 1,000 articles and videos telling you one thing, you start to believe it. And I'm not justifying that I've been blindsided to other perspectives sometimes, but I realized what my issue is with that, and now I've become more aware of it and looked at some other perspectives before actually making an opinion about something. So I just wanted to put that out there. Anyway, so for example, back in May, Reese posted a tweet that said, and I'm quoting, "And that's on getting and winning a packed area, not just because of one player on our charter flight." She ended up deleting the post, and people came at her accusing her of not being grateful for Clark and for talking bad about Clark on social media. But the thing is, Reese never mentioned Clark's name in the post, so we don't know for sure if Clark was who she was referring to. For all we know, she could have been referring to someone not in the league. I don't know. But my point is that the media takes one little thing and escalates it, and Reese has been a victim of this multiple times because of the previous Clark v. Reese rivalry in their collegiate career. And that post also, like, it wasn't even like that, like, I don't know, it didn't really seem like she was attacking Clark in any way. Just people kind of escalated and twisted it around is my thing. I do want to say that I do think the basic rivalry of the two is a fine thing in the sense that people compare their stats and how their teams are doing in the season. But when people compare their character and nitpick every little thing the narrative the media pushes, it's not okay, and it's really not acceptable. The WNBA is supposed to be an accepting league that pushes for women's equality in sports, and the narrative the media has been pushing for only hurts the league and the women in the sport and in the league. So that concludes our segment on the updates for the Clark v. Reese rivalry. And now we're going to move into our next segment where we talk about updates of the U.S. Swimming Olympic trials. Before we get into that, we're going to be taking a very short break. So I will see you guys very soon.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the